Hello and welcome. Before we begin, I want to acknowledge the First Peoples of my beautiful country, Australia, the traditional owners of the Yugambeh land I live and work on, and pay my respects to the elders, past, present, and emerging. This is the follow-on mandala from the emotion mandala I demonstrated previously. This is what I call a vision board mandala. Now that you've expressed and released anything you no longer want to hold in your body, there is a space to fill, and it's important to fill it with things you do want rather than allowing any old thing to fill it up. To do this, I've chosen collage as a way to bypass the thinking brain. The idea is you flip through a magazine or a bunch of images and take any words or images that catch your attention. Try not to think about it. If you see something, rip it out and then keep flipping. Make sure you look on the other side though, in case there is something even better on the other side you would rather use. If you discover you like what's on both sides, you could always scan them so you can use both. When you choose your images, it is up to you whether you want to just rip them out and have jagged edges, or if you want clean cut lines by using a pair of scissors. For me, there's something nice about the ripping of paper. Though there are some images I tend to want to cut close around the edges for once it comes to gluing them down, so the clean edges work well for that. Once you have a bunch of images and or words, it is time to lay them into the circular boundary of the mandala. I like to find at least one large image to put as the background that I can then layer things on top of. I place the image down and use my compass again to draw the edges of the circle so I can cut it out and glue it down. I try not to make judgments on why I chose that photo or what it means to me. I just go with the flow and allow the images to merge and emerge as a whole image. I always keep any cut-offs in a box to use in future collages, especially if I'm particularly drawn to an image. Once I have the background down, I begin to place the smaller images on top, cutting them where needed to fit within the boundaries of the circle. It isn't always necessary to stay within the boundaries of the circle. Sometimes it's nice to have bits sticking out, but for this one I really wanted it all contained in the safe and sacred space that is the mandala. When I am putting glue on the back of the smaller images, I often put a piece of paper underneath it to catch the excess glue that goes over the edges and stops the glue getting onto the mandala in places it is not needed. Once you're done gluing everything down, you can then add embellishments. You can outline the circle, add flourishes, dots, stars, write your own words on top, whatever calls to you. Lastly, just sit with the image and notice what stands out to you, what draws you in, or if anything causes a negative reaction. Notice the stories your mind is telling you about the piece, and if you are called to, do some journaling about any insights you've had in the process. And with that, the journey is complete, and hopefully you have found something positive and full of hope to fill that now empty space in you where those old unneeded emotions once sat and festered. If you missed it, there is a link to the emotion mandala below if you want to do that first. This process can also be used at the end of the year as you release the year that is gone and begin to imagine the year to come. It can be used to bring vision to the future you are wanting to create. So until we connect again, be safe, be healthy, and be wild.